How's it going, everyone? Got quite a bit to go over in this video. We have an update on PlayStation Plus for the month of February. Want to give you guys a heads up on that as the new games for Plus Essential are rolling out, and a major free update is heading its way later today. By the time you guys are watching this video, the game update is probably live, but we'll give you the heads up on that in just a little bit. But first of all, PlayStation Plus monthly titles for the month of February are live. Destiny 2 Beyond Light, the Destiny 2 expansion is the title, Evil Dead the game, and the two titles that really stuck out to me, Mafia Definitive Edition and Ollie World. Ollie World is a game that I unfortunately have not played too much of, but you just look at this game from an art style standpoint, it looks fantastic. It's been really well received and definitely on my bucket list as far as games I need to jump back into and play a lot more of, because that is a super well presented game. Mafia Definitive Edition, easy game to sell there. That is a ground up remake of Mafia 1 that I really enjoyed. Would like to see a PlayStation 5 upgrade for it, but you guys know the deal. Like, it's a lower key release that came out back in like 2019, 2020, so I don't really expect that to get an upgrade or anything like that. But Mafia 1 is a great game, and in a world where, you know, a lot of us are jumping into lengthy games, a lot of you are probably picking up Hogwarts Legacy today. Well, pack a lunch for that one, because that's going to be a lengthy experience if you are trying to 100% it. In the case of Mafia Definitive Edition, this is a game you can just jump right into, play it over a weekend, complete it, and then move on. I mean, you'll probably want to play Mafia 2 after you complete Mafia 1, but I really enjoyed my time with Mafia Definitive Edition. Now, from a gameplay standpoint, even though this is a ground-up remake, it does show its age a little bit. Like, it's nothing bad by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a pretty basic, you know, third-person action title, so just bear that in mind. But again, you're not going to spend a crazy amount of time with it. You're probably going to complete it within, like, 10 hours. And it's a relatively contained experience that, you know, you can just jump in, have a good time with, have a great story in it as well. Some really cool themes tackled in that game as well. The themes of Mafia, I feel like, are some of the most interesting aspects of the game. And from a gameplay standpoint, again, it's fine, but narratively, the game is really strong. Voice acting, everything like that, I think is really well done. I know they made some minor tweaks to the game that some people weren't a gigantic fan of, but yeah, I don't have that much nostalgic attachment towards the original Mafia, so the Definitive Edition is something that I really enjoyed. So you can check that out. You can check out Ollie World. Probably should give a little bit more love to Evil Dead the game, given that that is a multiplayer focused experience that rolling out in Plus. Definitely gonna give that game a much needed jolt, so that is cool to see. And Destiny 2 Beyond Light. Hey, Destiny 2, what is it, First Light, I believe it is? The new Destiny 2 expansion. I'm not big on Destiny 2, one of my boys is super into it, but the new Destiny 2 expansion is dropping later this month, and, you know, timing-wise, that makes a lot of sense to offer Beyond Light right now as well. So you can check that out later in February, at the end of February, and I know a lot of Destiny fans are super excited for it, so, you know, if you're a big Destiny fan, you probably already have Beyond Light, but nevertheless, available through Plus. Alright, moving on from that, I do want to note the Callisto Protocol getting a major update later today. By the time you guys are watching this video, probably already up. Glenn Schofield noted on Twitter, I hope you had fun with New Game Plus mode we put out a few weeks ago. Tomorrow we're putting out another free update, Hardcore mode. We'll also have our first DLC skin drops as a part of the Season Pass. Tune in February 7th after 10:30 a.m. Pacific time. Let me know what you think. Hardcore mode, definitely going to be a more challenging component to the Callisto Protocol, which I know a lot of people already did get infuriated with the Callisto Protocol. I didn't get that furious with it in the sense that I felt the game was unfair or anything like that. It's just, I wasn't crazy about the gameplay of the game. I know a lot of people say you got to utilize different abilities, you got to utilize the various weapons, etc., etc. It's just, that gameplay in that game didn't do it for me. And I know a lot of people that like the gameplay and they enjoyed the combat and everything like that. What I really dug about the Callisto Protocol is the visceral nature of the game. I mean, the game is absolutely gruesome, but if you're playing a mature horror title like that, that's what I want. Like, I legitimately had a couple times while playing through that game that I had to look away just because I met a very unfortunate end, and yeah, some of the deaths and the kills in that game, absolutely grotesque, but I say that in the best way possible. And I love the atmosphere to the game. I think it was an incredibly engrossing experience, and visually it looks stunning. Great lighting effects. You can go back and forth about Callisto, Dead Space Remake. I think most people agree Dead Space Remake was the stronger game, but that doesn't mean Callisto was a bad game. It's just $70 games are always going to be a little bit of a hard sell to me, and you got to be a premier title for me to recommend a game at $70. Callisto Protocol is a game that I think a ton of people would enjoy, but I think, you know, $30 is the price point that you should probably pay for the Callisto Protocol. It is unfortunate. We know the story as far as how this game did commercially, and there was a gigantic budget attached to the game as well, and seemingly it didn't do gangbuster numbers from a sales standpoint, and that's just going to be the reality with a lot of these big budget titles. I mean, I don't think Forspoken, for example, which is a game that had a significant budget attached to it, is going to do crushing numbers commercially as well. And that game, you know, had the fortunate fate of having an exclusivity agreement with Sony, so hopefully they got a fat check as far as that exclusivity agreement works, but who knows if that game ended up being, you know, up to Square Enix's standards. But, you know, when you have these games that are massive undertakings, that stuff is gonna happen, especially when you're talking new IPs like the Callisto and Forspoken. And Callisto was a game, again, a lot of people really enjoyed. I was a little bit down on it. It's not like I hated it, but you guys gotta remember, like, I'm gonna be a little bit more critical of what games that I recommend at a $70 price tag. I know for a lot of you guys, you know, you have the money to spend, but $70 is a hefty price to pay for a lot of people, and it's better off waiting for a sale on some of these games. I'm not saying, you know, wait on a sale for every game, but a game like Callisto, I think, is a premier example of a game that definitely has its strengths and its strong points, but you're better off paying $30, $35 for it, in my humble opinion. And it's a game that has a season pass, and it's gonna get some narrative-based DLC. I believe that is scheduled for a release over in the summer, so hopefully that does add a new layer to the game and gives us some content to get interested in. But at this point, it seems like, you know, Dead Space Remake kind of just took the wind out of Callisto sales. And it's not like Callisto had this significant amount of buzz after its release. I think a lot of people were more so down on it, or just saying, you know, not the greatest game in the world, and kind of on my boat, where we did think the game had a lot of strong points. Again, atmosphere, visually, a lot of the elements, the psychological elements, I think those are incredibly strong in the Callisto Protocol. It's just the gameplay. Obviously, the game is shorter in length, but that's kind of going to be a reality when it comes to these single-player survival horror games. We're not expecting, you know, a Resident Evil 4 remake to be this 30-hour experience. That's just unrealistic to expect. Dead Space Remake isn't that as well. I know some people were of the mindset, hey, a 15-year-old game, a 12-year-old game, whatever it is, I would be almost 15 years old when it comes to Dead Space. $70 for that is very high as well. And I see a lot of people, even with an open world RPG like Hogwarts Legacy, being like $70 is too much for that as well. At that point, you know, some games I think people are going to drop $70 on, but I digress. That is going to do it for me. Again, February PlayStation Plus titles are rolling out right now. You can check out Mafia Definitive Edition, strong recommendation there, Ollie World, Evil Dead the Game, and Destiny 2 Beyond Light. And New Game Plus is already available in Callisto Protocol. By the time you guys are watching this video, the free update adding the hardcore mode should be live, so check that out if you're interested. That'll do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.